Now we're going to begin learning how to do the single crochet stitches. This is going to be the stitch that we're going to need more in all the amigurumis that we're going to see later, okay? So first we're going to do in this occasion 14 chain stitches first, okay? We're going to do 14. This is going to be our knot. And now 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here we have done our 14 chain stitches, okay? Now, for do our single crochet stitches, we're going to begin on the third chain, always, okay? When we do a row with chain stitches, always we're going to begin on the third chain stitch for do our single crochet stitches row, okay? So this is the number 1, 2, and this is going to be the third one. I'm going to repeat. 1 is the one that I am here, 2 and 3. On the chain stitch number 3, we're going to begin crocheting our single crochet stitch. But remember how we have to hold our needle. We're going to put the thumb on the grip, the index finger on the back. Look that the hook of the needle, see the thumb, okay? Is in the same side of the thumb. With our index finger of the other hand, look, we hold the thread. And with these two fingers, we're going to hold the rest of the row. We're going to move when we continue crocheting. When we advance, we're going to move these fingers, okay? Now we're going to begin. So 1, 2, 3, this is the third one. If you can see, here is it like a hole in the middle of these chain stitches. So there, we're going to introduce our needle in this way, okay? We're going to introduce the needle in this way, and then we're going to pull out this thread through the same hole or chain stitch that we have introduced the needle in this way. Look, we pull out. Then we're going to introduce the thread into the two holes that we have here. Look, and here is it our first single crochet stitch. I'm going to repeat. Look, here is it the next one. Look, in this hole of this chain stitch in the middle, we're going to introduce the needle. We're going to pull out this thread through this chain stitch. Look, in the same way that we introduce the needle, we pull out the thread. And now we have two holes. We're going to introduce the thread in both of them. Now, look the next one. Here is it. We're going to introduce the needle in the middle of this chain stitch. We're going to pull out this thread. Look. Now we have two holes. We are going to introduce the thread in both of them. Here is it, the other point, the next point. Look. Now we introduce it, the needle, we pull out through the same way that we introduce the needle. Then we're going to pull to get or hold the thread and move it into both of these holes. Now here is it, the next point. We introduce the needle in this way. We pull out the thread in this way and we move in both holes the thread. Now this is the next point. Look, we introduce it, we get this thread, we pull out. Now we have two holes. We introduce in both of them. Okay, now this is the next one. We put like this the needle, we pull out the thread, we introduce it in both holes. The next point is this one. We introduce the needle, we get the thread, we pull out in this way, and we introduce in both holes. Okay, now the next one. We're going to introduce the needle in the next chain stitch. Look, we pull out the thread, we introduce the thread in both holes. Now the next one, look, this one. We introduce the needle, we hold and pull out the thread, and we introduce the thread in both of them. Now the next one is this one. Look, we introduce the needle, we pull out the thread, and now we introduce in both holes. Now the next one. Look, this is the final point. We introduce the needle, we pull out, and we introduce in both holes. And now here are our single crochet stitches. Look how it seems. And look that we can count. Look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these is a single crochet stitch, and you can see it in this way too. Look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, you can see it. You have to practice many times this. You can do like 100 chain stitch and do a single crochet stitch in each one, because this is going to be the stitch that we are going to use more. Practice many times, okay? And that's all.